Hi everyone, today in this video I would like to talk about something that westernized women and unfortunately a lot of American women don't understand when it comes to the value of a woman, to the do's and the don'ts of a woman while being in a relationship, before even getting into a relationship, and we don't even want to talk about her possibly becoming somebody's wife. Let's get right into it. But first of all, thank you so much for taking your time and being here. I appreciate everybody who actually subscribed to my channel. I appreciate it so much. But without talking about this any further, let's jump right into it. So many women think that they don't have to prove to a man that they are fit to be somebody's girlfriend or even wife unless that man puts a ring on that woman's finger. And ladies, let me tell you something. That train of thought is totally wrong. You know why? For one, there are more women on this planet than men. Therefore, you always have to be on the lookout on how you can actually impress a man, especially if that man is wealthy, if that man is, one of those high value men that these women always like to talk about, that they want to get with. But I'm always going to say every average man deserves a feminine woman, and I'm always going to continue stressing this. A woman's femininity is never based on a man's income. Either you got it or you don't. And trust me, even if women out there are acting like they are feminine just because the man is wealthy, their true colors are really going to show once these women get bored. But let's get right back to the point that I was trying to make. How is that man supposed to tell that you are different from everybody else? Because all these women swear they are different. They are not like the next chick. They are, better. They are worth more. And, everything else that they be talking about all day. But really, we can talk all day long, especially as women. Actions is what is going to, impress the man, or even tell the man like, I don't think that she is the one. Because really, men are so sick and tired of women looking the same, saying the same things, or even, I don't know, they have the same type of mindset. So if you have all of these women running around talking about, I don't have to prove to a man that I am wifey material unless it puts a ring on their finger, let me tell you that man will never put a ring on their finger. I mean, how do you think I was able to prove to my husband that I am willing to be his wife? I cooked for the man. I cleaned for him. When he came through the door, I took his bags from him. Like, come in, here are your slippers. And I honestly was not trying to impress him like that. Like, I was just doing what I was used to, but I was not aware of the effect that I had on him by just simply doing the things that I was taught by my mother, my grandmother, and my aunties while they were taking care of their men. I would go to work, I would come home, I'd still be in the kitchen like I didn't do anything else the whole day. I would keep the apartment clean all the time. I would go out there, work a second job if I had to, when times were hard. I'm not gonna lie to you. And that's what I mean by an average man deserves a feminine, supportive, and fit woman. Why not? Why do you think only a millionaire deserves a feminine wife? On top of all of that, I was soft-spoken. I didn't scream. And let me tell you, the first time I was in America, I couldn't believe how loud the females were. They were screaming on top of the lungs, but they were just talking. I would speak to my peoples on the phone back in Germany because they wanted to know how I was doing and everything. They would hear the females in the background and they would ask me, are you okay? Are they arguing? Are they screaming at you? And by that time, I was kind of used to that type of communication and the dynamics between American men and American women. I was like, oh no, everything is fine, Mom. You don't have to worry about it. Nobody is screaming at me. Everything is fine. But what I'm trying to tell you is out here, these women who are single, who can't get men, who claim that they don't want a man, they are single for a reason. They are single for a reason because they are too masculine. They don't take pride in the femininity that they carry by nature. Sometimes I think that they don't even want to be feminine because they think being like a man is cool. What is wrong with a woman showing some generosity towards men? What is wrong with that? That doesn't mean you are weak. That means that you actually feel comfortable within your skin, so much to the point that you are willing to make somebody else feel comfortable. That means that you are able to nurture not only the man or even some future kids. How many young women are running around having a complete false ideology of how they're supposed to get a man? All they use is their looks. But here's what they don't understand. Their looks is only get them but so far, because those looks are going to fade away. And it's going to happen very quick depending on the type of lifestyle that these young women live nowadays. Partying, not sleeping, too much makeup, mental issues. All that takes a toll on you. Drinking alcohol, smoking cigarettes. By the way, those were the things that I wasn't doing either. You don't know how bad I really want to tell these women what you are doing is not good for you, your future husband, your future kids, or most importantly, your mental health. So yes, telling a man that he has to put a ring on your finger so you can prove that you are wifey material is not the way. Let's jump into the second thing. A woman who makes a lot of money thinks that it's okay for her to be single for the rest of her life and that she can do whatever she wants. And what they don't understand is that men do not care about the amount of money that a woman makes. Because at the end of the day, like I said in the beginning, the femininity counts. The femininity counts because that's what a man wants in his life. A man wants to feel like a man. And of course, a man is supposed to, go out there every single day, empower himself. But how much better can a man actually feel about himself when he has a feminine woman by his side, empowering him every single day? Giving him that strength, that fuel to go out there every single day. It is not right for a woman to think that she can do whatever she wants to do when she's in a relationship and she happens to make more money than the man does. Let me give you just an example from my personal experience with my husband. First time when he came to Germany, actually came here to stay here, he didn't have a job because he didn't have a work permit. He didn't work. Do you think I kind of got fed up while I was working? I was the only one making money. I was supporting him. He wasn't even able to, have a visa if he wouldn't work. But I was totally okay with that. The money aspect will never be an influence to our relationship. He could lose his job today. I could be working by myself. I still wouldn't care about that because that's not what I'm looking for in a man. As far as, of course, the financial stability is important because we all have to pay bills, but it's okay if I make more money. He's still going to be the man of the household. So gentlemen, if you are out there and you are actually meeting a woman who makes more money than you and she is very vocal about it, very proud of the amount of money she makes or the car that she drives, the house that she paid off, all that is good for her, but that woman didn't understand that all of that means absolutely zero to a relationship. And another thing, that woman is never going to have respect for a man. Never going to have a respect for a man because she's always going to be like, oh, I don't need you. I make my own money. Because that's what these women think about. They be like, okay, you want to have a traditional wife. Can you build a house? Can you build a car? When in fact, these women who say these things, they don't even master the basics when it comes to being a woman by being feminine. So they do have a nerve to ask you if you build a house. Can you be feminine for one time in your life? And stop coming at the man's neck and just be kind instead of rude. All right, the last one that I'm going to mention, and I'm sure everybody in here is going to agree with me, is if a woman has a high body count, she brags about it instead of feeling some type of way about it, she most definitely is to be left alone. You have so many women out there who are convinced that they could do whatever men are doing. But let me tell you something, sweetheart. No group of men is going to look at a woman and be like, man, she had 40 bodies. She got to be wifey material. I am sure that she knows how to follow a man's lead. Those men know exactly that you can't parabond. Those men know exactly that you are most likely not to be dealt with, except for, this one type of activity that they may want to do with you. And if you're out there and you think that's okay for you to have a high body count and you brag about it, you're proud of it, you're like, I can do what you do. I'm a female, but I can do whatever men do. And I'm telling you, you can't. But these are the times we are living in, gentlemen. And I know how it feels for you when a woman like myself comes online and talks about the values that I have, the traditional upbringing that I had. But let me tell you something. I am not the only one that is left out here. I've been with my husband for 22 years now. We've been married 15 years, and I think it's for a reason. I am not perfect. But there are so many things that I would not do. A woman has to be strong-minded. She has to have self-respect. She has to have discipline. She can't be running the streets like that doesn't mean anything. Yes, I used to go to the club when I was younger. All of that was taking place at a time where I was out with my female friends. And we were not looking for dudes. We were just dancing to the music. We wasn't even drinking any alcohol, and we would all come home at the time our parents told us to be home. You know? Where are the women like that nowadays? But you can't tell these things to these westernized modern women nowadays. They will call me a pick-me, even though they are doing all of the things that describes a pick-me. You would never see me online doing the things that would attract a man's attention. I might have some talking points where people are, cheering me up and all of that stuff, but you would never see me posing a certain way. You would never see me out with my cleavage. You would never see none of that of me. So who really is the pick-me? I'm just over here trying to kick some knowledge so they can get on board and actually be wives and have a man by their side who is willing to protect them to provide. But again, even if a woman wants to be protected and provided, she has to be receptive to information and able to change her behavior. That's probably something that I'm going to get into with my next video, how my husband's masculinity has actually affected me as a woman and how my femininity has affected him as the man of the household. That's all I have for you today, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Leave a like, leave a dislike, leave a comment, or even tell me what you would like for me to talk about in the next video. Do you want me to critique a video, or do you rather want me to talk about my experiences or even my husband? I'm hopefully going to be able to go live with him on YouTube. Follow me on Instagram as long as I'm able to stay on Instagram, because they don't like to hear the truth and keep flagging my account, but that's a different story. That's why I'm doing whatever I'm doing on YouTube right here. Like I said, thank you so much for being here, and you can either support by sharing our message, or you can support by a donation on Cash App. I will leave the Cash App ID in my description, or even in the under this post. Thank you so much. Take care, and never forget, and never ever lose hope. Just because you are in America right now or somewhere else in the world and women just tend to be crazy, the world is a big place. Get your passport and travel.